There's absolutely no doubt that Sage Mode is one of the most significant amps Naruto has ever gotten. He went from being a high chunin to low jonin level ninja to being an extremely powerful high Kage level fighter who was able to fight against all 6 paths of pain simultaneously. Now, of course, Naruto had intel in every single path, he knew what to do, but it doesn't diminish his feat nonetheless. Pain himself admitted that Naruto was the one who had pushed him the most his entire career. That's very impressive. However, people like to forget how this fight played out a little bit. Some people just say, yeah, Naruto beat Pain, like, it's fine, right? Naruto just beat Pain, it's whatever. But actually, if you pay attention, Sage Mode Naruto literally lost to Pain. He was able to take down 5 out of the 6 paths, only Tendo remained. However, Naruto still lost that fight, and the Nine Tails had to come and bail him out of it. And yes, Hinata also had to come and help get herself quote-unquote killed by Pain so that it would fuel Naruto's rage, and then the Nine Tails would come out. The Nine Tails then fought against the Deva Path, and it was doing pretty well, making him run away. There wasn't much Pain could do in that situation. He had to get near Nagato's real body to cast Chibaku Tensei, and that would have worked if the 6 Tails hadn't evolved into the 8 Tails who simply broke out of Chibaku Tensei using sheer raw power. And then Minato came and sealed the Nine Tails back into Naruto, helping him out in that situation, but still, the Nine Tails literally saved Naruto in the fight. Now he had only to fight against one path of pain. Naruto was now rested, he had his chakra back, he got his Sage Mode back, and Nagato was extremely tired, almost without chakra, so it was a much easier path for Naruto to win the fight. Still, it was pretty difficult nonetheless. But the point is that the Nine Tails is depicted to be stronger than Naruto was in Sage Mode in this particular fight. Now, it is unfair to compare the Nine Tails, at least the 6-tail version of it, 1-to-1 against Sage Mode Naruto, because Sage Mode Naruto had to fight against 6 paths of pain, and the 6 Tails only fought against Tendo, and granted, Tendo was the strongest path. But Tendo Pain himself was trading blows with Naruto in Sage Mode. Yes, Naruto was beating him in taijutsu exchanges, but he wasn't like running away or anything. The Preta Path was able to immobilize Sage Mode Naruto, which is pretty crazy. I don't see the Preta Path immobilizing the 6 Tails, for example, and Tendo was just running away from it. And that's just the 6 Tails version too, when you count that Naruto used 8 Tails in the fight against Pain, and he came very close from using the 9th and final tail and just give himself away completely to the 9 Tails against Pain. Well, it's undeniable that these versions are much more powerful than Sage Mode Naruto. The entire 9 Tails is a behemoth of chakra, hatred incarnate in the Naruto universe. But then when you skip ahead in the story and the 9 Tails is actually fighting against Sage Mode Naruto, Naruto kinda destroys Kurama there. And it's not like Naruto used a cheat code strategy or anything like that. No, he beat the 9 Tails with sheer power. Just like the 9 Tails broke out of Chibaku Tensei using force. There was no elaborate scheme, no loopholes in the logic of the fight. No, Naruto just pummeled the 9 Tails down. And when you look at that, it's just a little bit weird because yes, of course, Sage Mode Naruto was extremely powerful, but he wasn't that powerful. I mean, just think about it. If he was beating the entire 9 Tails, how did he not beat Pain much more easily in the Pain arc? That's the question we're going to be exploring in the video. Naruto fought the 9 Tails because he wanted to control its chakra, and for that he had to do that tug of war with the 9 Tails itself, draining the beast's chakra and taking it for himself. But before he could do the tug of war, he had to defeat the 9 Tails in combat, weakening the beast enough to pull its chakra out of its body. And the stuff Naruto pulls in the fight against the 9 Tails is actually insane. Obviously, he was using Sage Mode in the fight, otherwise he probably wouldn't have much of a chance, but regardless, he was doing some crazy stuff. If you look at the fight against Pain, he had some charges of Sage Mode. He had backup clones gathering nature energy in Mao Myoboku, and he would resummon them into the battlefield whenever he runs out of Sage energy. Now, for the first time he ran out, Naruto used a couple of jutsus. He used a couple of clones that then went on to use 2 massive Rasengans that hit the Animal Path's hounds. He used his Furakumite against the Preta Path. He used a dual Rasengan Barrage against the Animal Path, which is like 2 Rasengans, 1 in each hand. It's not that big of a deal for Naruto. And he used a Rasenshuriken that killed the Human Path. That took him out of Sage Mode, and he had to use one of his clones to recharge. For his second Sage Mode charge, Naruto used 2 Rasenshurikens and 1 dual Rasengan Barrage, and a couple of Shadow Clone Jutsus and Transformation Jutsus, but that's not that big big of a deal in terms of chakra cost for him. After that, the Preta Path captured him and drained the rest of his Sage Mode out of him, which was a mistake because he eventually turned into stone. But Naruto had a reasonable amount of jutsus he could use, imbuing them with Sage Mode energy before he ran out of it. And that was one of the cool limitations during that particular fight. Naruto had to be strategic on what he was going to do because he only had so much Sage Mode available to him. And then once Naruto returns after the Nine Tails went ballistic and defeated Pain, he used a Shadow Rasenshuriken jutsu, meaning that he used 2 Rasenshurikens with the Sage Mode charge, and also created a lot of clones, which we can assume he also did with his Sage Mode chakra. But then when we go to the Naruto versus Nine Tails fight, sure, Naruto starts somewhat slow. He uses a Super Massive Rasegan that the Nine Tails just blocks with its tails, and then Naruto used a Rasenshuriken, which actually hurt the beast quite a lot. But then the crazy stuff starts to happen. Naruto uses a barrage of Super Massive Rasenshurikens, and the first time I watched that scene, I was shocked seeing the amount of power Naruto was outputting. I was also a little taken aback because the greatest jutsu Jiraiya, the great sage of Mount Myoboku, the Lord of Toads, could perform was a massive Rasengan, and Naruto all of a sudden is able to create dozens of super massive Rasengans, which, well, each of those Rasengans are 4 to 5 times bigger than Jiraiya's greatest Rasengan, and he's making a lot of them at the same time. It dwarfs the Nine Tails. The size of all those Rasengans combined is insane. And then Naruto finishes the Nine Tails off with another Rasenshuriken that enables him to draw the chakra out of the creature. Also, an interesting thing to note here is that the blast of the Rasenshurikens that Naruto used against Nine Tails are massive. They are much bigger blasts than anything Naruto's done before. The Rasenshuriken he used against Pain, they weren't nearly as big. Obviously, the one he used against Kakuzu didn't even come close because the blast he was using against the Nine Tails here was the size of the Nine Tails itself. So not only was he able to use so many more jutsu, but they were also way more powerful. You can see that when a single super massive Rasengan was powerful enough to force the Nine Tails to block with its tails, and it was struggling a lot. And then when the barrage came, the Nine Tails was blasted away, and each time Naruto landed a Rasenshuriken, the Nine Tails felt that a lot. So Naruto's just way more powerful here than he was against Pain. And people may be saying, well, it's normal for a shonen protagonist to become stronger. It's normal for Naruto to evolve. Each arc is gonna get more powerful, but the thing is, Naruto didn't go through any sort of rigid training or any specific training arc in between the Pain fight and the arc where he was fighting against the Nine Tails. As a matter of fact, the Nine Tails fight was part of the training itself to acquire KCM, and the arc that came in between the Pain arc and this arc that he fought the Nine Tails was the 5 Kage Summit arc, which wasn't an arc that focused on Naruto all that much. Sasuke was the star of that arc. Naruto was just laying around and literally having panic attacks after hearing Sasuke invaded the 5 Kage Summit and after Sakura tried to force her fake love onto him. The only battle-related thing Naruto did in this arc was to save Sakura from Sasuke, and then he clashed his Rasengan against Sasuke's Chidori, both in base. I mean, Naruto didn't use Sage Mode in this arc at all, which is a little bit strange. I mean, you just came up with this very interesting new power for Naruto that he used against Pain, and now you're just not gonna show it in the following arc, and then in the next arc, you're just gonna give him another power-up that's gonna dwarf Sage Mode. A little bit annoying, to be honest, but okay. The important thing to note is that Naruto didn't do anything specific to get more powerful, and it doesn't make that much sense for him to defeat the Nine Tails in face value. But things in Naruto are hardly ever face value. This fight here against the Nine Tails is everything but ordinary. It's not as though Naruto is fighting against a creature to defend the Leaf Village from an attack. He's not even fighting the Nine Tails in the real world. He's fighting the beast inside his own body, in the weird realm where Naruto can see the Nine Tails projected inside of him. And we see that Naruto also gets some very good help for this particular fight. First, Killer Bee quote-unquote invades Naruto realm with his 8-tail state and literally grabs a tail beast bomb that the Nine Tails shot at Naruto, saving him in the process. Bee tells Naruto that he cannot interfere that much because this is Naruto's realm. He's just like trying his best, but Naruto's gonna have to do the heavy lifting, but still, he was being helped. And then of course, the biggest help comes when Kushina manifests herself, because Minato had sealed her chakra inside of Naruto all those years ago so that they could have a conversation and Kushina could guide Naruto Naruto when he tried to master the chakra of the Nine Tails. Kushina was able to distract and restrain the Nine Tails for a while using her chains, and she also bolstered Naruto's resolve. But, helping Naruto out here wouldn't have worked if Naruto wasn't that more powerful. If Naruto wasn't able to spam his jutsus like a madman, something he couldn't do against Tendo Pain. But there's a very clever reason as to why Naruto could do those jutsus so much more, and his jutsus were more powerful. It's simply because they had more Sage energy imbued in them, because Naruto could collect more Sage energy. You see, usually when Naruto has to enter Sage mode, he needs to remain still so that the nature chakra can enter his body. You cannot do that while moving. Naruto tried to learn that ability moving, but it was simply impossible. That's why he came up with a shadow clone technique where he can just use clones that are gathering Sage energy, dispel the clones, and the Sage energy will come into his body. Problem is that when you don't have shadow clones to back you up with more Sage mode, and when you're in the middle of a fight, you usually cannot enter Sage mode. Unless if you're Jiraiya and you don't have the Nine Tails inside of you that's not allowing Fukasaku and Shima to hang on your shoulders and imbue your body with Sage mode. So the Nine Tails was doing Naruto a little bit dirty in that situation, not allowing the two-toed sages to, put Sage mode into Naruto. However, when Naruto came to fight the Nine Tails, Karma struck back at the beast, because Naruto didn't have to move to fight the Nine Tails. He was fighting the Nine Tails inside his own body. He was standing still, very still, the perfect situation for him to gather enough Sage energy, his real body that is, and meanwhile his quote-unquote astral projection inside of the realm of the Nine Tails could freely fight with Sage mode activated 100% at all times, because Naruto was just collecting more and more energy. His body didn't have to move, but he could still move inside the Nine Tails' realm fighting the creature. But obviously that's not gonna be all. Yes, in that situation, Naruto had a much more OP version of Sage mode, which helped him out a lot in the fight against the Nine Tails. But Naruto's jutsus were also more powerful than they were when he fought against Pain. Well, it makes sense for Naruto to be able to spam them because he has infinite Sage mode, and maybe you could even say they got more powerful because Naruto imbued them with more chakra because, well, he can collect as much Sage energy as he wants, but that doesn't really seem to be the case here, because the most important help Naruto got was from his mom. If it wasn't for Kushina, Naruto would have lost the fight. The Nine Tails was actually winning the fight before she interfered. In the physical realm, we saw the Nine Tails' chakra consuming Naruto's real body, which wasn't a good thing. He was losing the war there. And you may be saying, well, yeah, Kushina used the chains and then she helped Naruto out. But that was, sure, a little bit of help, but not the most important thing Kushina did. You see, mental imps and mental nerfs are a thing in the Naruto universe, like it or not. There are several situations characters just got more power because they get a psychological boost, be it from anywhere. Back in part 1, Naruto created 5,000 shadow clones to fight against Gaara because Gaara was about to kill Sakura, suffocating her. And in this situation, Naruto literally talked with his mom for the first time in his life. Kushina told how she met Minato, everything that happened in the past, how they had Naruto, and obviously this made Naruto really happy. He literally said, there's an entire panel saying, I'm so happy, before Naruto re-engages with the Nine Tails. This is one of the craziest mental imps that we've ever seen in the series. And to top all that, Kushina literally gives her chakra to Naruto, and that's how Naruto performed the Super Massive Rasegan Barrage. And to be honest, that shot of the Rasengan Barrage looks much more impressive in the anime than in the manga. It looks okay in the manga, but the anime just gives it more gravitas. This is definitely because the aspect ratio in the anime is much greater than the aspect ratio Kishimoto used in the manga. I wish this particular scene had been a 2-page spread in the manga. It wasn't, but there were plenty of 2-page spreads in this particular chapter, so I can't really complain. Boruto has had literally 1-page spread in 82 chapters right now, and it was a really bad one. And we also have to take into account that Naruto was playing a home game in this particular fight. He was literally fighting inside of himself, and I always believed that this gives Naruto and whoever is fighting inside of this place a boost in their power levels. We see in the Minato one-shot that Minato and Kushina were fighting in that particular realm, and this time, well, it was Kushina's realm, not Naruto's obviously, but still they were fighting in there, and Minato clashed his first ever in-battle Rasengan against a Nine Tails full Bijudama, and Minato somehow managed to beat the Nine Tails, or at least stalemate it, made it weak enough for Kushina to use her chains to subdue the Nine Tails. I don't know what happened because they just skipped from that particular panel to Minato in the hospital. But, well, he managed to subdue the Ninetales with one small Rasengan. So, yeah, and maybe you just get a little bit of a boost when you're in there. It is kind of crazy to think that Minato only needed one small Rasengan to beat the Ninetales, and Naruto needed like 4 billion in the Super Massive Ultra Blaster Master Rasengan Barrage, but that's okay, I guess Minato's just that OP. And we can also rationalize that Naruto literally undid his seal so that the Ninetales would be free and Naruto could collect the Ninetales' chakra. Kushina didn't undo her seal, so she could probably contain the Ninetales better. It was just a feat the Ninetales was having because Kushina's emotions were flaring, so it was probably easier to contain it. Naruto, though, he had to literally defeat the Ninetales in combat, which was a very epic fight. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already, like this video to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, and watch this other video right here for more cool Naruto content. Thank you so much for watching, guys.